It's Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. A few things to talk about today. Markets today closed up. Yesterday, they were down a bit. Today, completely rebounding. Dow Jones up 368, NASDAQ up 190. Now, what caused this turnaround from yesterday to today? What was the good news? There really wasn't any good news. We're continuing to get earnings and outlooks, and they're very, very mixed. But I believe the reason today the market is up yet again, and why we're seeing this month of January up, is based on hope. The market really is not looking at any fundamentals. The economy is not improving. The consumer is not improving. It's all about hope. These markets are desperate for any type of good news. There really isn't very much good news. I believe much of this rally in January is purely based on hope, and that is what is causing the market to soar a bit this January. The rally appears to be rallying in anticipation, ladies and gentlemen, of a pause in rate hikes. But tomorrow, as you know and I know, the Fed is expected to raise rates 25 basis points. And I would not be shocked, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I would not be shocked if we got a 50 basis point rate hike tomorrow. Now, I believe more than likely it will be 25 basis points. And I believe that the markets will, this has already been priced in, markets will probably rally on this. But if we get a 50 basis point rate hike tomorrow, you will see the Dow Jones down 1,000 points. Again, the rally that we're seeing this year so far in January is based on nothing more than hope. Do you really believe, many people do believe that the Fed is going to pivot, that they're going to reverse course? I don't believe it's going to happen. I think we're going to see continued 25 basis point rate hikes, maybe a 50 basis point rate hike in there this year, while at the same time, the Fed is probably going to be buying more into these markets, buying more bonds, and expanding the balance sheet. I think the balance sheet that most of us don't actually get to see. Now, I just want to share some news with you today. This is coming from CNBC. PayPal to lay off 2,000 employees in coming weeks. That's about 7% of its workforce. The stock market, no doubt, loves this news that people are losing their jobs, that you are losing your job. The stock market loves this because it's all about profitability. And my question is to all of you is, when enough people lose their jobs, who's going to be buying? Who's going to be able to afford to buy from these companies that are traded on Wall Street? Who's going to be able to afford any of this? You're going to be able to afford to buy a car? You're going to be able to afford to shop at Walmart? Are you going to afford to be able to buy food? So many people are going to be unemployed. How does this not affect the stock market at some point when the average consumer cannot buy products or services from many of these companies that are traded in these markets? McDonald's sees inflation sticking around. This was on Fox Business. Sales are only going up. You're going to see more McDonald's being under construction coming to a town near you. Just what we need, more McDonald's, more terrible processed food. But this is why McDonald's sees inflation sticking around, because they see their numbers increasing. They see profits increasing because more people, because they're going broke, are going to be forced to turn to the cheapest foods out there. And yes, I know McDonald's is no longer cheap, but it is more inexpensive than most places, right? You go to a Jack in the Box, a Taco Bell, a Del Taco, McDonald's, one of these fast food restaurants, they're not cheap anymore. But this is where people are going to be forced to go if they can save $2, $3, $4, $5 for lunch. This is where they're going. This is what they're going to be feeding their families. And many people aren't going to have a choice now. And as I've said in the past, I think this is really going to take a toll on a lot of people's health, a lot of people's health and their kids, because as people don't have the money, the discretionary money to go out and maybe pay for a little bit better quality food, they're going to start feeding their kids more processed foods, the cheap foods like McDonald's and Del Taco, and the worst foods possible, filled with chemicals. And this is going to have consequences in the lifespan of people, especially kids, as they're going to be forced to rely on this type of nutrition now with their whole life ahead of them. This is a terrible foundation for a kid to grow up on this type of food. CNBC, mass tech layoffs don't signal a recession, but this trend could. Look, I think if right now you can't admit or won't believe that we're in a recession, then you never will. By the time they admit that we're in a recession, we'll be in a depression. But according to this article, layoffs in manufacturing could signal a recession. Look, we're going to see layoffs across every sector in this economy. And it's not just going to be tech. We're seeing people in the mortgage industry, trucking, retail, you name it, beginning to lose jobs. And we're going to watch this accelerate throughout the U.S. economy. So I don't need to see people laid off in manufacturing because first off, do we even manufacture anything here in America? I mean, very, very little do we manufacture here in America. But now they're telling us, well, if we begin to see layoffs in manufacturing, well, that might signal a recession. Nobody wants to believe that we're in a recession right now. We've been in a recession for over a year, and I believe that we are in the beginning stages of a Great Depression, the Greatest Depression, or Greater Depression, whatever you want to call it. We have never seen the U.S. economy in shambles like we do right now. Now, here's another one coming from the Hedge today. Cardboard box demand plunging at rates unseen since the Great Recession. The latest indicator that consumer demand is eroding, dwindling savings, inflation, rising interest rates, and fears of a recession may be swaying consumers to spend less. Please comment down below. Are you spending less? Are you spending more? Maybe you're spending more, getting less. But how has this affected you? Please comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts on this. Are you being affected at all? Have you been affected? Maybe not. Maybe you're spending more, getting more. But I think for most people, they are maybe spending about the same, maybe less, and getting less. So let me know in the comments down below. Wolfstreet.com, the most splendid housing bubbles in America. This was a really good article, and I'm just going to paraphrase through this. If you get a chance, check it out. But today we got the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller Home Price Index for November. Prices of all the 20 metros in the index dropped from the prior month and all continued to slide from the peak last spring or summer. Single family homes in San Francisco down 14% from the peak in May. The median price across the U.S. of all types of homes sold in December fell 11.3% from the peak in June. In San Francisco, the median price plunged by 30% in December from the peak in March and was down 10% year over year. Prices falling from their peak. And I'll just go over some of these from the article. San Francisco, the prices falling from their peak, down 14.3%. Seattle Metro down 13.5% from its peak. San Diego Metro down 9.9%. Phoenix Metro down 7.7%. I knew people in Phoenix who told me that it's never going to stop. It's not going to slow down. It's going to go crazy for the next decade. And here we are down 7.7% in Phoenix from the peak. Denver Metro down 7.5%. Los Angeles Metro down 7.4%. And the Las Vegas Metro down 7% from its peak. Again, people in Vegas telling me that it's never going to go down, that they're going to see years of prosperity, years of prices going up. Boy, were they wrong. People just don't want to accept reality. They don't want to accept the truth. There's so much denial out there. And of course, many of these people in the real estate business, they have to tell you that it's always a great time to buy a house. They have to tell you that housing's only going to go up, that the economy's only going to prosper. They always have to fool you and themselves to keep the whole game playing along. But, you know, people who bought in the last year or two with all this FOMO, they're going to get absolutely devastated. Here's another one today. Gold snatched up by central banks, fastest pace in 55 years. Get this. Net purchases of physical gold in 2022 by central banks was 1,135 tons. That's a lot of gold. That's not gold stocks. That's not gold junior mining stocks. That's not paper gold, that's physical gold. And that's exactly what you should be buying right now, physical gold. Another article I want to share with all of you in closing. Coming from The Hedge, Chicago crime rises 61% in 2023. Violent offenses spike while governor insists crime coming down. So we know crime is going up. We know crime is going to continue to go up because we know that we have an eroding economy that is not just going down, it is collapsing. We are watching the collapse take place right before our very eyes. And when an economy collapses, so does the society. So does the social well-being of that nation. It's going to collapse also. We're watching it take place. I think really a good barometer of the economy is crime. As you see crime soaring, you see the economy going the opposite direction. As the economy continues to go down, crime is going to go up. And so that's why I'm so imperative daily with all of you that you are taking care of your security, that you get your security house in order. And that doesn't just mean having a cell phone or an alarm system or a camera. Okay, you need to be able to take care of yourself. You need to be able to protect yourself. You need to be able to protect your assets, your home, your family, etc. So make sure, please, I beg of you, make sure that your number one asset is security. Once you have that taken care of, then go from there. But when you look at the numbers and the type of crime that is taking place in this country and what is coming, you better have security. And I don't want you to be one of these people, you know, that just says, oh, yeah, you know, I have security, but you really don't, okay? Make sure you really do. It's easy to say you do. It's easy to say, well, you know, I have a camera at my house to videotape everything. Well, that's great. You know, it can videotape the violent crime that takes place at your house. It can videotape, you know, the criminals that came into your house and took everything you worked hard for. Good luck. What is that going to do? The damage is done. So right now, it's about preventative maintenance. And one of the best things we can do to prevent crime is to work on our security and make sure that we're not victims. So I'm going to leave it there today. God bless all of you. We'll see what happens tomorrow. To me, it doesn't even matter. It's fascinating to watch these markets because they're so manipulated and so rigged, and just watching all the lies and cheerleading that goes on a daily basis. I'm really entertained by it. But at the end of the day, it means nothing to me because I'm not playing in these manipulated markets. I'm not joining in on the sucker's rally. I'm watching the economy. I don't have to watch the bond market, the debt market, the stock market. I just need to watch the economy. And we can all see with our own two eyes what is happening to the real economy. You're seeing what's happening to your jobs, to people you know, what's happening to their jobs, to your friends and neighbors. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Prepare to lose more jobs. Unemployment's going to blow through the roof this year. Crime is going to blow through the roof. Debt is going to blow through the roof. Desperation blows through the roof. It's going to be a disaster. And look, I don't see anything getting better even in 2024. But right now, let's deal with where we're at in 2023. And nobody has a crystal ball, but right now, in the very near term, I see things getting extremely bad. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think they're going to improve in 2023? Do you think things are going to turn around and get better? Or do they continue to go down the sewer here? Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Please share this video. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure you support this channel by subscribing. There's no obligation. It costs nothing. Hit that subscription button and hit that bell notification so that you are alerted with the newest videos. God bless all of you. And as always, I look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon.